Alrighty, so we'll get started. Hey, everybody. My name is Arye, and I work with Lisa at the Interfaith Center for Sustainable Development. And welcome to Creation Care. This is our fifth installment, and this week we're going to talk about sustainability and sacrifice. So, sacrifice is it's a loaded term. People hear sacrifice and they get nervous. What do I have to sacrifice? Or if we're talking about the Bible, then you're thinking about sacrificing an animal. That could also make people nervous. And then but sustainability, that can make people nervous too. So it's a lot of things that can make people nervous. Hopefully, no need to feel nervous. We can all feel calm. This is a safe space where we can talk about how we can make this amazing world even more amazing, and hopefully heal some of the things that are not so amazing yet. So I'm just going to start by, let's go around and share your name, a little bit about yourself, and what what does sacrifice mean for you in terms of religion, and or in terms of ecology, in terms of sustainability, environmentalism. What does sacrifice mean to you? And these, whatever comes up for you is totally wonderful. So, who would like to start us off?
Okay, my name, let me start.
Lisa,
My
sorry,
name is
Lisa, it's hard.
Adeline.
It's hard to. Oh, perfect. Thanks.
I can start, okay. My name is Adeline Sirimoy from Jody Foundation, Kenya. I'm the director and the founder. Okay, for me, as we've spoken about sacrifice, is taking your time to help others. You devote yourself to help the needy and even the people who want your help from different places. Now, in terms of the work we do, for example, what happens that we've sacrificed ourselves to ensure that the people we are helping in the community achieve the best. They should not, okay, they should not be the way they are. We pray that a time will come when they'll have changed themselves and become a better in future. Also, when you say about sacrifice, I'm sacrificing myself that maybe in God, for example, the Bible, you're fasting because of someone else, or you're fasting because you want something to happen in your life. So you are sacrificing your time, not eating, but you are sacrificing to ask God to give you something that you need in real life or to overcome certain challenges that has been facing you. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, so let us finish with Kenya first. Yes, I'm Lukoy John. So anyway, thank you very much. So, okay, according to me, sacrifice just mean the self-denial, you see. What I ought to have on my benefit, you see. Now I ought it to somebody. If I have maybe 3 mangoes, why eat 3? Why not donate 2 and eat 1, you see? So that is for somebody's sake, you know, that is brotherly love, you see. So that is on the self-denial, you see. Jesus even said we need to have self-denial in our life, you see. For you to feel some show the love, you see, because of faith that action is there. Then an ecological aspect, if I say to sacrifice, it means this. For example, in a case where there is environmental degradation, and it means that through our human activities, when we are not sensitive, and then we tend to do things which are not conserving the environment, then it means generally we are sacrificing the environment. And at that time also too, on the positive side, I can sacrifice my time and then what, and conserve it, you see, by doing what, advocating for mitigation that will be helping to prevent the what, the erosions or the degradation of the environmental that is, and the environment that is around you. So that is my aspect here from Kenya. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And,
Welcome.
Liz, would you like to share next?
Sure. My name is Liz, and I founded the Laudato Si group. For the Catholic, this is a time of sacrifice because we're in the second week of the 6 weeks of Lent. So everybody's supposed to give up meat and fast certain days. And I'm a linguist, so I know that sacrifice means to make holy in Latin, and I'd be very interested to know what it means in Hebrew.
Yes.
In Hebrew, sacrifice, it's the root is kuf, resh, and vav. Like karev means to, like a korban, it means to come close. So the idea is that through a sacrifice, you're coming closer to God, and idea, and you can also think about it as coming closer to your ideal self. You're sacrificing the parts of you that you don't need to come closer to the parts to the soul that you are.
That is beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for sharing about sacrifice becoming holy. I never heard that. That's really interesting. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Chris, would you like to share?
Yeah, well, sacrifice is it's the only time we can hear sacrifice is anytime I'm in the church. But it really means a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of things. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Chris Nwachukwu, and I'm from Nigeria. And I founded the Green Promise Initiative organization. I am the international convener of the initiative. And I'm so pleased to be here because there was something that I tagged it as an eco-evangelist. So we tend to preach the green gospel, the green gospel to everyone, whether you like it or not. You just have to listen to it because this is what will keep us safe. So it has to be true. So sacrifice plays a huge role with us as individuals and as believers. Because when you look at it, God sacrificed himself in Christ for humans. That's for our salvation, for our protection. So the whole thing, when you are looking at the whole ecological problem, I can say that the whole ecological problem was caused by a lack of sense for the necessity of sacrifice for life. So when we can really bridge this gap of sacrifice, we can really see that a whole new system can be found in our environment. One, we can sacrifice with our time. You spend time with nature, you spend time in cleaning your environments, you spend time in advocating, because what I'm actually doing, nobody's paying me. I'm actually sacrificing the whole thing. I can't remember the last time I bought new clothes. I can't remember the last time I went to the eatery. I can't remember the last time because everything I have now is for sacrifice. I've sacrificed everything just to make sure that I can face this whole new field that I am in the concerning the environment, for it to be great. So nature and the society, we are expected to sacrifice for individual gratification without the right to demand sacrifices in turns. We're looking at God as the source of reality, who will always sustain us so that we can live and participate in our sacrifice for nature and to make the world a great place for us to live in. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks for sharing the green gospel. Love that. Anne, would you like to share?
Hi, I'm heading up the creation care team in my parish, which is under our Life and Justice Ministry. And really what got me into this was the Laudato Si from Pope Francis. And I've been exposed to a lot of organizations, which is how I stumbled upon you guys. And because I wanted to see it from an interfaith perspective also, in addition to Catholic. And I love how the season of Lent with with it being a holy season, and how you also explained how it was in the Jewish religion. They're very, very similar, and I love that. And how we're looking at our environment and creation. And I'm agreeing with everyone as far as the sacrifice part, because it's not just something that we might give up something for Lent. It's more of a spiritual journey to bring us closer to God and helping our human family through our journey. Everything that we do for our brothers and sisters throughout the world, we have to think about not only our present generation, but future generations and everything that we do. We have to look at what you were talking about earlier as far as sustainability also. I'm actually surprised at all the stuff that's out there that I wasn't even aware of. And it's a very rewarding experience to learn all this and try to apply it into my personal life, but spread the word to everyone. What we see, we tell a friend, and hopefully they tell a friend or a family member, and get closer to God and our fellow creatures. Amen.
Beautiful. Lisa is not able to share at this time, but she says that she agrees with everyone, and I agree with Lisa. Lisa's very wise.
Thank you, Lisa.
And my name is Ari, like I said, and I live in Jerusalem with my wife, and she just waved from behind the screen. And for me, sacrifice in religion and sustainability, I was kind of sharing this last time. It's kind of tough. It's this tension that I feel between convenience and I think doing what's right. And it's some things I've developed as habits that we compost, and now we have like a bin, and like that's just what we do, and we know where to put it, and like it's easy, it's convenient. And then other things, I'm like a light bulb, like, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, if it's like so complicated, I don't want to like deal with this, but at the same time, I don't want to be creating pollution. So it's like, I don't know, like if only it were easier, but also like if it's not easy, then like all the more so for everyone else. Like, I mean, this is my job, so it's like I feel bad. I'm like saying like, this is hard for me sometimes, but it's true. And I think where all of us come in, that we need to be like Chris is saying, and spreading the green gospel in our community and doing it with love and with hope. And even if it's hard for us, then all the more so it's hard for other people who aren't even thinking about this and thinking about how can we make it easier for ourselves? How can we make it sustainable as a sustainable practice and sustainable and easier for other people? And I think sacrifice is important, but if every time I'm trying to be sustainable, it's a sacrifice, like a huge sacrifice, then I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. So I guess maybe part of it is also how do I make it like a little easier each time? How do I put the sacrifice in the beginning so that it'll be easier in the end for myself and others? So hopefully that's something hopefully we can figure out together.
I agree with you, especially the way that we were brought up here in the United States. It's a very consumerism driven society. And this is how we grew up. We were every new thing that came out, and if it made our life easier, we got it. It's a transition that we have to make, and it's going to be hard, I think. But I think it's something that needs to be done initially, and maybe if we make our lives simpler, it will be easier eventually.
Although if we're doing it out of love, how do we persuade other people who aren't doing it out of love? How do we persuade people to do this, to join it? If it's hard for us.
Well, in my community, there was a women's club that was collecting soft plastics. And I've been recycling all along, but not recycling the soft plastics because my company, garbage company wouldn't take them. But I thought, okay, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to collect soft plastics, and I'm going to get my friends to do the same. And in the end, it was amazing how quickly they were accumulating in my house, even though I was aware and trying not to buy stuff, you know, but it would even come in the mail, a magazine wrapped in soft plastic. And it became, it made me become very aware of how much soft plastics there are. And so I did get a bunch of friends to help, and we gathered carloads of soft plastics. It was just amazing how much we could gather, and it went to a good cause. And there's now going to be a park bench made of the recycled soft plastics. But in the end, after the campaign was over, I decided to continue doing that. It was a bit of a pain to take the soft plastics to the one place in town that will take them. And I was disappointed that some of my friends said, well, I'm not going to do it anymore because you're not collecting them. In the end, I decided, well, if the only person I converted was myself, that's something.
It really takes a mindset and from an individual, and then another individual, and then another individual. And hopefully it will be a community at some point in time, because the past couple of weeks, there is a town in Japan that several years ago, they are now 100% of recycling community. They recycle everything, but they had to get the old people were the hardest ones to get on board, but they finally did it. So it can be done. I said, wow, if they can do it, we can do it, right? I'm just hoping that one day it'll be like that.
Yeah, I think, hello. I would read one of the Bible passages in Ephesians 5:1-2. It says here, therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children and walk in love, as Christ loved us and gave himself up a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. So there is something that is going on within, I think it just started up during the Anthropocene stages of life and in our society. It's this aspect called, oh my God, the noise is too much in the background. It's the aspect of capitalism. This has really done a whole lot. And one of the leading causes of capitalism was consumerism. Now, if we, just like what Christ said, if Christ said, as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a pleasant sacrifice. So if we actually love our environment, we need to give up some things. A whole lot of pleasures will really go down. So we can have been able to meet a whole lot of people who are working on sustainability, and I've seen people who are giving up some lifestyles that would have benefited them just for the protection of the environment, just for sustainability. And for all hands to be on deck, for all hands for us to work together, we have a lot to sacrifice for our environment, because God has given us this earth as a place where we should live, and also not just for us living, but also for future generations. So God wouldn't be happy if we do not love our environment, we trash our environment, and you still expect him to bless you in that environment, because blessings will come from the land. It wouldn't come from a trashed environment. So we have a lot to sacrifice on consumerism. Let's live with our limits and be contented with what we have. And of course, we can see our environment to be in a better place.
Yes, I think I can add something small, because I was thinking how to motivate others is by giving me that complaining. For example, if I was to do something in the society, back in Kenya, you see, in the western region of Kenya, when we give back to the society in our areas of areas of professionality. It's not a must that I have to be given back for the pay or to be paid on the service. No, you give out of heart, because maybe one day, one time in your life, for example, somebody's sacrifice is 2 coins or 3 coins or dollars or whatever to push you through the education system. And he was doing it without even waiting for the word kickbacks, or one day you could pay back. So you could motivate others by being exemplary, by doing out of art, out of compassion, you see. So that will be a motivator factor. You are doing something and people think that this person should be paid, but it is contrary. You are doing it out of love, you see, and you see, and it is persistent, you see. So I concur with all all my brother and on the sisters, what they have said. All those amalgamated together, it is what will make us to do this, and for sure people will be in love to sustain because to sustain others, since when you give to somebody or when you sacrifice somebody, you are actually sustaining somebody whoever could have slept angry might have died the night, and you have given a clothing, or somebody's walking naked, or somebody has no clothes, you have hide her nakedness or his nakedness. This person will be the happiest person so far, you see, in Africa, whereby maybe a pair of a leather shoe, a black one in high school is the first day you could have seen it. But if by chance you get it in primary level, you are the happiest so far person, you see. So this one, you could imagine if I was not spotted by somebody, this person just gave it me freely. That person will ever remember you, because it is out of love that you gave it. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone's bringing up such wonderful points. I love hearing about the real life examples, and about the challenges, and about also on a personal level, but like thinking about, like, you know, but what can I do to make a difference? What can I, you know, how can I bring that, and even if no one else is bringing their soft plastic anymore, how can I bring it still, and like know that I'm doing the right thing? Or how can I be aware that I'm receiving someone else's sacrificing on my behalf? And that's kind of the other side of the coin, is how can I cultivate that gratitude for the sacrifices that other people have made for me? We have about 1 minute left. What about let's end on a note of gratitude. How do we come to awareness of what's been sacrificed for us? Because I think that can be an important part of us being willing to sacrifice, is recognizing I'm not willing to sacrifice, but look how much has been given. Look how much my parents have done for me. Look how much people in the community have done for me. Who wants to have the last word?
Well, last week, as part of my Lenten sacrifice, I decided to choose to become quite aware, much more aware of things. And, you know, even the blessing of having water come to my house, the men who have created infrastructure that make that possible. I think if we cultivate a feeling of gratitude every day, being thankful for small things, we can become more aware of the big things that others do for us.
It's a beautiful note to end on. And I am so grateful for all of you. I don't take any of you for granted. Thank God Creation Care is growing, and please God, it should continue to grow. So please continue to come. Please invite your friends, and we can spread the green gospel Chris mentioned, and with the help of God and each other. Thank you all so much. We'll meet back here. We'll meet back here next week, same time, same place. And I'll stay on if anyone has any questions or feedback or anything. Everyone have a blessed rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.